Suzuki just revealed 5 new motorcycles for 2026, and they're turning heads across the entire industry. From all new middleweights to a turbocharged Legend Reborn, these machines are bold, fast, and built with purpose. Stick around, because the #1 bike may be Suzuki's most powerful statement ever. Number 5. Suzuki GSX-8S. Some motorcycles aren't trying to be flashy, expensive, or overcomplicated. They just work, and when they do, they win riders over for life. The GSX-8X is that kind of machine. A practical street tool built for real-world conditions, not showroom fantasies. It's the kind of bike that doesn't ask you to change your lifestyle. It simply fits into it. From weekday traffic to weekend twisties, it delivers consistency, control, and just enough attitude to keep things interesting. It produces approximately 83 horsepower from a 776 cubic centimeters parallel twin engine. Delivering 63 pound-feet of torque braking, is handled by dual front disc brakes with axial mounted calipers and a single rear disc, all controlled through a responsive anti-lock braking system. Suspension comes courtesy of a telescopic front fork and a link-type rear monoshock, both tuned for everyday versatility. The wet weight lands at 467 pounds with a seat height of 32.7 inches. Starting price is listed at $9,399 in the United States. What makes this bike shine is not just the numbers, it's how those numbers translate to riding experience. The parallel twin feels smooth across the rev range, but there's a satisfying kick in the mid-range where most riders spend their time. Power delivery is linear but not dull, and it thrives on consistent throttle input. Twist it hard and you're rewarded. Ride it casually and it hums along without drama. That range of behavior is where the GSX-8X stands out. No surprises, no complaints. The 6-speed transmission is tight and forgiving, and the addition of a factory quick shifter with both up and down capabilities means you can shift aggressively without using the clutch. It's a feature usually reserved for higher-end models, and it makes daily commuting or canyon carving feel like sport riding without the fatigue. Suzuki's slipper clutch adds another layer of comfort, preventing rear-wheel hop during hard downshifts and helping you stay smooth even when you push the pace. The ergonomics are relaxed but alert. The handlebars are wide enough for good leverage, and the mid-mounted pegs keep your legs comfortable without compromising cornering clearance. Seat padding is firm but not harsh, with enough surface area to remain supportive over long miles. Riders over 6 feet tall may feel slightly perched on top, but the neutral position means you can move around easily and adapt to different riding conditions. Instrumentation is modern without being overwhelming. The full-color thin-film transistor dash is bright, legible, and clearly laid out. It includes gear position, fuel range, ride modes, traction control level, and a digital tachometer. There's no unnecessary fluff, just what you need presented cleanly. Riders can toggle through 3 riding modes, each with different throttle response and traction control sensitivity. Whether you're navigating wet pavement or opening it up on dry roads, you'll find a setting that matches your confidence level. Fit and finish are solid. The paint quality is respectable, panel gaps are minimal, and the exposed steel frame gives the bike a muscular, upright stance. The radiator shrouds flare out just enough to give it a broader shoulder line, and the tail section is clean and purposeful. LED lighting front and rear adds to the modern touch, but nothing about this bike feels overstyled. It's honest, functional with a lean edge. Riders who come from older middleweights like the SV650 will find this to be a clear step forward. It's more refined, better suspended, and more feature-rich without losing that raw appeal. Maintenance access is relatively straightforward, and Suzuki's reliability track record in this category speaks for itself. Chain adjustments, oil changes, and general upkeep are simple enough for home mechanics, and service intervals are generous for a bike in this class. On the road, the GSX-8X delivers the kind of balanced ride that doesn't wear you out. In town, it's light enough to thread through traffic with confidence. On the highway, the engine sits comfortably at speed without buzzing your hands or feet. And on a twisty back road, it holds a line with predictable composure. It may not have the razor-sharp edge of a dedicated sport machine, but it doesn't need to. It's planted, responsive, and competent in every setting that matters. If there's a downside, it's that the GSX-8X doesn't specialize in anything. It's not a dedicated tourer, track bike, or off-roader, but that's also the point. This is a generalist, a jack of all trades that excels at being a reliable, enjoyable, no-nonsense motorcycle. For many riders, especially those with a practical mindset, that's the most valuable thing a bike can offer. And that's exactly who this machine is built for. Riders who want to get on, ride, and enjoy without overthinking it. No subscription services, no hidden tech, just a solid motor, clean chassis, and the kind of ride that makes you want to do one more mile before heading home. It may not win on paper specs alone, but it wins hearts on the road. The next bike on this list proves that modern horsepower can still wear a classic face, and it's making a return that nobody saw coming. If any of these bikes shocked you, or you'd ride one, hit like and tell us which in the comments. Your pick might surprise people. Number 4. Suzuki Katana R. There are motorcycles that chase trends, and then there are those that honor their bloodline. The Katana does not apologize for its past. It embraces it. In a sea of cookie-cutter sport bikes, this machine makes a statement the moment it rolls into view. The styling is sharp, the lines are deliberate, and the attitude is unmistakable. It is built for riders who want to remember what it felt like when motorcycles were rebellious by design. Underneath that distinctive silhouette lies a 998 cubic centimeters inline 4 engine producing an estimated 150 horsepower and 78 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by a pair of Brembo 4-piston front calipers gripping full-size rotors with a 2-piston rear caliper mounted on a single disc. Suspension comes from Öhlins with an inverted fork up front and a piggyback reservoir shock at the rear. Wet weight is approximately 478 pounds with a seat height of 32.2 inches. Starting price is expected to land near $14,999. What sets the Katana apart is not just its performance, but its defiance. While most modern motorcycles look forward, this one looks both ways. It nods respectfully to the past without becoming a parody of it. The headlight cowl is angular and aggressive, balanced by a clean tail section and minimal bodywork. The tank is sculpted for a firm knee grip, while the short rear overhang keeps the profile compact. The riding position sits somewhere between upright and aggressive, an ideal stance for carving corners without punishing your spine. This is not a track-focused machine. It is a street weapon tuned for torque delivery and smooth roll-on acceleration. In the mid-range, it pulls confidently without needing to chase the rev limiter. The throttle response is crisp and gear changes feel firm and mechanical through the 6-speed manual transmission. It rewards deliberate inputs. There is no delay, no hesitation, just a steady surge of power that builds with every twist of the wrist. Despite its heritage cues, the Katana features contemporary tech where it counts. Multiple ride modes adjust throttle maps and traction control sensitivity. Anti-lock braking system calibration is smart and progressive, staying out of the way until it is truly needed. The full-color display is tucked just below the cockpit and shows vital metrics without distracting from the minimalist design. The Öhlins suspension gives this motorcycle an unexpected layer of polish. Front-end feel is excellent, and it responds immediately to small steering inputs without becoming twitchy. Over uneven pavement, it remains composed and tracks with confidence. This is especially noticeable during downhill sweepers or long off-camber turns, places where lesser bikes can start to feel vague or unsettled. Braking performance is equally confidence-inspiring. The Brembo calipers offer excellent bite without being abrupt. In stop-and-go city traffic, the modulation is smooth. Out on an open road, they bring the Katana down from speed with authority. Combined with a well-balanced chassis and relatively low weight, the result is a machine that feels athletic but stable. For older riders who remember the original Katana, or simply respect motorcycles with a backbone, this is more than a novelty. It is a credible, capable platform that mixes old-school cool with new-school refinement. It is the kind of motorcycle that makes you look twice before walking away, not because it is flashy, but because it holds presence. Every angle, every line feels purposeful. The Katana R is not for everyone, and that is exactly the point. It does not chase universal appeal. It is built for riders who want their motorcycle to have character, to feel different, ride different, and leave a lasting impression. It is not overloaded with features, and it does not pretend to be anything it is not. It is an honest machine, and in a time when too many bikes feel like rolling screens, that honesty is refreshing. But not every rider wants to flash chrome on the boulevard. Some of us want to disappear into the wild. Skip the hype. We've handpicked the most affordable, reliable gear. Check the affiliate links below and ride smarter. Number 3. Suzuki V-Strom 800DE Adventure X. Some motorcycles are built for speed, others for style. But then there are those that are forged for the long road ahead, the kind of bike that doesn't blink at rain, dirt, or 500 miles of bad pavement. The V-Strom 800 Adventure X was made for that world. It is not trying to win at the track. It is trying to win your trust when the pavement ends and the real journey begins. Underneath its rugged shell is a 776 cubic centimeters parallel twin engine, delivering approximately 84 horsepower and 57 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by dual front disc with twin piston calipers and a single disc at the rear with a single piston caliper, all linked to a cornering-ready anti-lock braking system. Suspension comes courtesy of long-travel inverted forks up front and a rear monoshock with preload and rebound adjustability. Wet weight lands around 507 pounds with a seat height of 34.6 inches. Starting price begins at $13,499. Single feature, it's the sum of its parts. It is an overbuilt, over-prepared machine made for the rider who believes in planning less and riding more. Whether you're crossing the Rockies or simply heading off-grid for the weekend, this motorcycle carries the same calm confidence in every scenario. The 21-inch front wheel gives this bike true off-road legitimacy. Coupled with an 18-inch rear and factory-fitted adventure tires, it's ready for fire roads, gravel switchbacks, and muddy inclines. The suspension is tuned to handle heavy loads and rough surfaces without punishing the rider. When seated, the rider triangle is upright and open, ideal for long-haul days. When standing, the wide bars and tank contour make off-road transitions feel natural and steady. Panniers are built in, not tacked on. They mount cleanly to the frame with reinforced brackets, providing real-world storage without compromising balance. Combined capacity pushes over 70 liters with lockable lids and weather sealing. Crash protection includes factory-installed engine guards, hand guards, and a beefy skid plate underneath, all of which prove useful long before you need them. Technology is present but subtle. A full-color touchscreen display integrates navigation, fuel tracking, and ride mode selection in a single clean layout. Bluetooth connectivity allows you to pair a smartphone, sync turn-by-turn directions, or stream music through helmet comms. Still, nothing distracts from the road ahead. The controls are simple, tactile, and built for gloved use. Multiple ride modes adjust throttle response and traction control intensity. Standard mode gives balanced torque delivery for highway and city riding. Gravel mode backs off the intervention for light dirt trails. And off-road mode disables rear-wheel anti-lock braking system, allowing experienced riders full braking control on loose terrain. The system is easy to toggle on the fly, making the bike adaptable in real time. The engine itself is the quiet hero of this platform. It delivers strong low-end grunt, especially in the first 3 gears, giving plenty of pull for steep climbs and loaded panniers. In top gear, it settles into a smooth, fuel-efficient cruise. Vibration is minimal, and the exhaust note is purposeful, low, steady, and confidence-building. Wind protection is generous without feeling bulky. The adjustable windscreen deflects airflow effectively, and additional handguards keep wind and rain off your fingers during colder rides. Heated grips come standard on the Adventure X trim, as does a 12-volt accessory socket and USB-C port for charging devices. The seat is broad and firm, sculpted for all-day support without causing pressure fatigue. Fuel economy ranges from 50 to 60 miles per gallon depending on load and riding style, giving this bike a range of over 300 miles between fill-ups with its 5.3-gallon tank. That means you can skip more gas stations and ride deeper into the unknown. It is one of the few adventure bikes in this price range that delivers real long-distance range without expensive upgrades. Despite its tall stance, the V-Strom is surprisingly agile in tighter settings. The frame geometry keeps steering predictable, and the weight is distributed low, making slow-speed maneuvers feel manageable. Even with a full luggage load, the bike stays planted and stable on twisty roads and uneven terrain alike. And maintenance is refreshingly straightforward. Oil changes, chain service, air filter access, all are designed for the rider who handles their own tools. No complex fairings, no hidden bolts, just clean, mechanical simplicity the way adventure riders expect it. Now that we've tackled the backcountry, it's time to rip up some tarmac with a machine born for speed. Number 2. Suzuki GSXR 750R. Speed has a sound, a feel, a rhythm that only the right motorcycle can deliver, and the GSXR 750R speaks that language fluently. This machine doesn't just carry a nameplate, it carries a legacy forged in corners, sharpened on straights, and reborn for riders who demand more than just raw power. It's lean, it's aggressive, and it's built to remind the world why this category still matters. Beneath the fairings lies a 750 cubic centimeters inline, 4-engine producing over 130 horsepower and 63 pound-feet of torque-stopping duties are handled by dual floating rotors up front with 4-piston radial-mounted calipers and a single rear disc paired with a 1-piston caliper. A cornering-equipped anti-lock braking system comes standard. Suspension is fully electronic with adaptive damping and preload control at both ends. Wet weight comes in at approximately 436 pounds with a seat height of 32.1 inches. Pricing starts at $13,995. This isn't a detuned 1000, it's not a souped-up 600, it's a class of its own. Purpose-built for riders who want racetrack reflexes without the bulk of a full-liter bike. The power curve comes on hard and stays strong through the rev range, rewarding throttle control and punishing hesitation. It's a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. What makes this version different is the blend of electronics and instinct. Launch control lets you nail perfect start. The bi-directional quick shifter allows clutchless shifts up and down, making hard acceleration and corner entry seamless. 3 ride modes and an adjustable traction control system adapt the bike to different conditions: wet streets, dry track, or technical canyon roads, and none of it ever gets in your way. The handling is where this machine truly separates itself. A revised chassis geometry and shorter wheelbase give it quick, responsive steering. The electronic suspension reads the road in real time, softening during bumps, stiffening during hard braking, and adjusting compression during aggressive lean angle. It doesn't just hold a line, it locks in and begs you to push further. Rider position is unapologetically aggressive. Your weight is forward, your feet are tucked, and your arms are ready. But it's not uncomfortable. For experienced riders, the ergonomics feel like home. You're part of the machine, not sitting on top of it. You feel the road through the bars, through your boots, through your core. Styling is as sharp as the ride. Aerodynamic winglets integrated into the fairing add downforce without visual bulk. LED lighting keeps things modern and minimal. The tail section is slim and contoured with a tucked-in license bracket and optional seat cowl. Every angle, every crease looks engineered for speed. Instrumentation is all business. A full-color TFT dash provides lap timing, lean angle data, shift indicators, and real-time throttle input. You get what you need, when you need it. No fluff, no distractions. In motion, the GSXR delivers confidence by the handful. Braking is powerful and progressive. You can dive hard into a corner, trail brake to the apex, and fire out the other side without hesitation. The feedback from the front end is exceptional and the chassis stays planted even under extreme input. The quick shifter is tuned perfectly. It's mechanical, crisp, and responsive at any speed. Even in regular traffic, this bike doesn't feel out of place. It's narrow enough to filter through congestion and smooth enough to ride daily. Fuel economy stays close to 45 miles per gallon, and the 4.1-gallon tank provides over 175 miles of mixed-range riding. That makes it one of the few true sport bikes that can rip track sessions on Saturday and commute on Monday. For riders who remember the golden age of middleweight supersports, this is that spirit revived with modern muscle. It's not bloated, not over-electronified, and not softened for mass appeal. It is a machine for riders who know how to ride and want a bike that rises to the challenge. There's no learning curve here, just immediate precision. And unlike the bulky 1000s that often feel like too much off the track, This bike keeps you involved at all speeds. It doesn't just go fast. It makes going fast feel good. And for anyone who understands what that means, the GSX-R 750R is more than just a smart buy. It's a return to something real. But all of that, performance, heritage, innovation, leads us to this. The King Reborn with a turbo. Still with us? Then you care about where this industry's going. Subscribe now. We're not done with what Suzuki's really planning. Number 1. Suzuki Hayabusa SE Turbo. Some motorcycles define an era. Fewer still define an entire category, but only one has ever dominated the highway, the drag strip, and the showroom floor with the same ruthless precision. The Hayabusa C Turbo isn't just the return of a legend, it's a full-blown resurrection of speed, power, and purpose. This is Suzuki's top-tier engineering unleashed in a way that's both brutal and beautiful. At its core is a 1,340 cubic centimeters turbocharged inline-4 engine producing over 200 horsepower and 127 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by dual Brembo-style front calipers gripping large floating rotors with a rear disc supported by a single piston caliper. The braking system is fully integrated with a cornering-capable anti-lock braking system. Suspension is fully electronic, featuring adaptive damping and preload settings both front and rear. Wet weight comes in at approximately 586 pounds, with a seat height of 28.7 inches. Pricing begins at $24,995. The turbocharged Hayabusa takes everything riders loved about the original and launches it into the modern era. The acceleration is immediate, ferocious but manageable. With a long wheelbase, low center of gravity, and traction-enhanced launch control, the bike plants power to the pavement with surgical force. From 0 to warp speed, there's no hesitation. Only grip, thrust, and velocity. Suzuki has equipped this flagship with an active aerodynamics package, making it the first production sport touring bike in their lineup to use electronically adjustable winglets. These deploy based on speed and throttle input, increasing downforce during high-speed runs and retracting during slower urban travel. Combined with the smooth aerodynamic fairing, the result is a bike that slices through air with precision while maintaining stability even at triple-digit speeds. The electronic suite is everything you'd expect from a flagship machine. Multiple ride modes tailor throttle response, traction control, wheel lift, and braking feel. Radar-based adaptive cruise control maintains distance from traffic ahead and automatically adjusts speed without rider input. Hill hold assist, low-speed crawl mode, and even back-end control for aggressive deceleration are included. But despite all the tech, the interface remains rider-first. Clean, intuitive, and distraction-free. Suspension performance is equally impressive. The adaptive system reads road conditions in real time, adjusting compression, rebound, and spring rate depending on lean angle, speed, and braking force. On the highway, it glides. On back roads, it holds a line with athletic confidence. There's no wallow, no bounce, just precision where it matters. Visually, this version of the Hayabusa retains the signature silhouette that made it iconic. Low, long, and unmistakably fast even when parked. The sculpted fairing hugs the frame tightly, while the rear taper and underbody diffusers clean up airflow. LED lighting, including sequential turn signals and a distinct front headlamp array, brings it all into the 21st century without losing the essence of its identity. Inside the cockpit, a split analog-digital display gives the rider critical data without clutter. Traditional tach and speed dials flank a central full-color screen, offering navigation, suspension status, lean angle readouts, and radar system feedback. Everything is configurable, but never complicated. And the switch gear is designed for glove-friendly use, so adjustments can be made in motion without distraction. On the road, this motorcycle behaves with a kind of confident menace. It's quiet at idle, composed at cruising speed, and utterly explosive on command. The throttle mapping is linear but potent, especially in Sport Plus mode, where every millimeter of wrist rotation delivers instant response. In touring mode, the bike settles into a relaxed, fuel-efficient rhythm, proving that performance and comfort can absolutely coexist. The seating position is surprisingly neutral for a bike with this level of speed. Slightly lean forward but not punishing. peg position is rearward enough for control, yet low enough for all-day riding. The seat itself is well padded and contoured for both solo and two-up travel. Heated grips, adjustable levers, and a sculpted tank allow for long-distance comfort without sacrificing control under hard acceleration. Fuel capacity is 5.3 gallons, offering over 200 miles of mixed-range riding at an average of 40 miles per gallon. Despite the turbocharger, efficiency is kept in check thanks to precise engine management and advanced cooling systems. This allows riders to tour cross-country without the constant stress of hunting for fuel stops. But the Hayabusa C-Turbo isn't just built to go far. It's built to go fast, extremely fast. Top speed is electronically limited, but the way it gets there is almost unsettling in its smoothness. No vibration, no drama, just a steady, relentless climb toward the horizon. Riders often say the sensation is less like riding and more like flying low, where the world blurs but the bike never flinches. They gave us bold designs, serious power, real innovation. But just because Suzuki's stepping up doesn't mean everyone else is. If you want to see the models riders are actually abandoning in 2025, go watch what's happening across showrooms right now. And if this video gave you something worth thinking about, like, comment, and subscribe, you're exactly who we made this for.